an addendum to some of what we've been talking about, I think, which flows into the entire conference theme. In the book on page 63, I mentioned historian Kevin Phillips, who was a prominent Republican policymaker, points out in the 1970s, manufacturing led financial services by a 2-to-1 margin in terms of the overall economy. By 2006, goods production had shrunk to just 12% of GDP, while financial services reached a swollen 20 to 21% of GDP. So he blamed the market crisis of 2007-2009 on the economy's dependence on a burgeoning, unsustainable level of debt. Well, a lot of the cash flowing into that system of financialization, as I talk about in the book, which was really raised for the first time by European labor leaders in the last 3 to 4 years as a warning. Those are dollars not investing in windmills, in windmill production, in solar panels, in high-speed trains. No, those are dollars that are just circulating and flipping and flipping and flipping as part of a paper flip. So we should not let pension dollars be part of that system. If Wall Street robber barons, or shadow bank robber barons, as I like to call them, since so many of those funds are in what are called the shadow bank system, unregulated, unseen, those robber barons ought to use their own money to do that, but not our money, not workers' money, not the funds from insurance companies, not the funds from other institutional investors like student endowments, like foundations. The $24 trillion that are part of what are called institutional investments, which are a big part of the economy. Question?
President Gerard, you made I thought was this James Swain from Chicago Manufacturing Renaissance Council, Center for Labor and Community Research. And I thought you made an historic announcement of enormous significance for the American labor movement earlier this week on the connection between the steelworkers and Mondragon. And you shifted the issue of workers' capital being invested to workers a model, as you said in your statement, a new model of the economy, which workers are in fact driving wealth creation. And how do you see a connection between these two historic events in terms of the future of the American labor movement and the options it's going to pursue?
Well, I really appreciate your question, because life moves so fast I had forgotten about what I did on Monday. and in fact, on Monday of this week, the United Steelworkers Union formalized a strategic alliance with the world's largest worker cooperative, the Mondragon Worker Cooperative. They have 100,000 employees, and 50% of their cooperative is in the manufacture of industrial goods, everything from airplane parts to high-tech components for the computer and automobile industry. And our values bring us to that alliance, and we believe that we can take the concept of worker cooperatives, trade unions and collective bargaining, and workers' pension funds, and try to marry those three together to create a new model of industrial manufacturing. I don't have any illusions that this will happen in 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years, but the reality is that we're able to, through that, to form a new model of creating industrial development where workers have much more control over both their pension funds and the management of those assets in the creation of long-term jobs, not short-term boondoggles. The international president of the Mondragon signed the document and was on a press conference with us, and we've started the collaboration, and we'll be having exchanges. They'll be coming over. We met 2 weeks earlier with the National Bankers Cooperative, or National Cooperative Bankers, and so we've got that alliance as well. So I said to our board when we voted on it 6 years ago, when we created the Blue-Green Alliance, it was Carl Pope, myself, and Dave Foster in a room, and there was about 3 reporters that showed up. Today we have close to 8 million people that are in the Blue-Green Alliance. So we start with the Mondragon Cooperative, with us and the Mondragon, and we'll see where we are in 6 years. But it is a new model that we're trying to build.
Questions? copy editor, by the way, David